Brandon. What up? We in this thing, man. Black History Month. And guess what? We wake up this morning to some smoke. And where there's
Let me
smoke,
teach you how to vibe.
there is fire. Where there is smoke, there is fire. DJ, cut the beat. Welcome to Shop Talk today, man. It's your boy. I don't need to say my name. We live on the blue, we live on the green, we live on the purple, we live on the red. Make sure y'all click on that YouTube link. Always live with Shop Talks every day on YouTube, man. We really trying to grow on YouTube this year. And what do we have here? Right when the Jaguars are trying to interview John Robinson, the man that blew up the Tennessee Titans Super Bowl window by trading A.J. Brown and getting fired. Hey, listen, man. Don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger, man. Don't shoot the messenger. It's Black History Month. Don't shoot the messenger, man. I'm just here so I don't get fined, man. Let me see what y'all initially think about these trade rumors. Trevor Lawrence to the Steelers, which would mean Justin Fields is on the market and Russell Wilson is on the market. This just shook up the whole offseason. Soon as the Super Bowl is over, Jalen Hurts' cigar is still lit of the Chiefs pack. And here we are talking about who's going to make that move to get up to get. That would leave the Jaguars with the fifth pick, like another top half of the draft pick, 2 seconds.
Let me teach you how to
they're
vibe.
gonna have a lot. They're gonna have a lot if 2 firsts. That would leave the Jag with 2 firsts, 2 seconds. Man, that's a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, who y'all think win the trade? I think if that happens, I think the Jaguars, like, hey, listen, man, that might be prime territory. They might re-sign Mac Jones and then draft him a QB and have the 5th pick. Like, 2 in the first and 2 in the second is crazy. Like, with what they already have with Brian Thomas, Evan Ingram, ETN at running back, like, you know, they get going. They need to get rid of Christian Kirk, though. I tell y'all that was a mistake from the get-go. Jaguar fans, Steelers fans over there saying, wait, what? Hey, Steelers fans over there with egg in their face. Hey, look, just digest y'all cereal, y'all coffee, y'all eggs and toast and bacon, man. Trevor Lawrence to Pittsburgh. Oh my goodness. You know, when a new GM come in, he don't want to tie his job to the QB that somebody already else paid. I think Trevor Lawrence may have the second largest QB contract in the NFL. I think over time. We got $276 million. Hey man, phone lines is open, man. Listen, all you Steeler fans, man. Shout out to everybody on all 4 social media platforms. All you Steeler fans, man. Don't shoot the messenger, man. Don't shoot the messenger, man. That's all I ask y'all to do. I don't ask much. I just say don't shoot the messenger because I've been saying some of these teams is gonna learn. Get off them big contracts. Draft you a QB. Load up on draft picks and go and go to work. That's what the good teams do. Jags fans here, you don't think they pulled the trigger? Why you don't think they pulled the trigger? Why you don't, like, if you the Jaguars, this is God smiling on you. You going nowhere with Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville. He's a good QB. He's not 276 million QB. Now, if you a Jaguar fan and you saying you're gonna have 6 picks in the first 3 rounds, 2 in the first, 2 in the second, 2 in the third, with what y'all already have, dog, y'all could go get the first quarterback. Y'all could get Cam Ward if y'all want it. Y'all could get Cam Ward if y'all want it. Honestly, I think y'all could.
Let me teach you how to
With
vibe.
that much capital, you could get Cam Ward if you want it. At worst, you got Mac Jones and Jackson Dart next season, and in 3 other picks in the first 2 rounds, bro. Like the Jags really could goon up if they wanted to. They could take Mason Graham at 5 and pair him with them edge rushers y'all got. Y'all could go with the Pittsburgh Steelers pick, take the best corner on the board. Like, y'all really could load up if y'all wanted to. That's the way to win. Trevor Lawrence ain't finna beat Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, or Patrick Mahomes, or Joe Burrow in the playoffs, or CJ Stroud for that matter. I changed my mind. In a full season,
Let me teach you how to vibe.
If you have Mac Jones and you had Trevor Lawrence, and instead you get Mac Jones and 6 draft picks in the first 3 rounds, and Mac Jones, or you had Trevor Lawrence for $276 million and whatever you have right now, I'd take Mac Jones in the 6 picks. Give me my money back. No, I'm starting to believe the Steelers starting QB this year won't be Fields.
Let me teach you how to vibe.
Or Wilson, though. I'm not trading a first and a second for Trevor. They smoke a fentanyl. Well, reality is the Steelers got to pay somebody. The Steelers got to pay somebody, and they're not in a position to draft a QB high. At best, the Steelers could get Milroe or Jackson Dart. That's at best. But somebody got to stay and somebody got to go in Pittsburgh. You got to shit and get off the pot, because y'all have the unfortunate.
Let me teach you how to
You have the
vibe.
unfortunate reality that you in the division with Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson for the next decade. So we see how the last 5 years has been with Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow being in the division with y'all. The next decade don't get no brighter unless y'all got somebody. I don't think, like, outside of cornerback, I don't see a way y'all defense could be more like star-studded than what y'all have to get over that hump, to just winning on defense. And I don't think you could just run the ball and beat them two in the playoffs. Dead cap still matters. You don't just take the contract. Of course it don't. You still got dead cap. Which you're going to have to eat a little bit, but over time, that shit even out. If you're going to be stuck with it, pay the whole 270. All right, put it like this. His rookie deal with his contract deal in 8 years, $300 million. I guarantee in 8 years, the Jaguars won't make a Super Bowl. So why are you spending $300 million? Why are you spending over $250 million on a QB that you're not even going to sniff? You're barely going to sniff the playoffs with Trevor Lawrence making that kind of money in Jacksonville. Just face it. Nashville, Jacksonville, Cleveland. Like, I can go down the list. All these teams ain't never going to win spending a boatload on a QB. The franchises ain't good enough to handle it. It's just not. Change my mind. Change my mind. Show me how any, like, I'm a fan of a bottom feeder franchise like the Tennessee Titans, the Browns, the Jaguars. Like, bro, show me how we're going to win with a quarterback making $50 million. In position to draft a franchise QB and build around him. Depending on, we got plenty of cap. Titans got like 80 million, but the problem is, does the front office want to draft a QB? I think they should. I think it's going to be a mistake if they go after one of these high paid bridges. Like a bridge is Baker Mayfield for $7.5 million and you go to the playoffs. A bridge is Joe Flacco on the Browns, $7-8 million, and you lose to the Texans. That's a bridge. A bridge ain't $30-40 million. It's just not. He said, don't work that. Who said something about Madden? Bro, this what y'all niggas need to stop doing. You're coming here to talk sports. The first thing you niggas say when you don't have a good point in the argument is, when we just sitting here talking hypotheticals, is Madden. Nigga, I ain't even played Madden yesterday. I've been playing Apex. What the fuck do Madden have to do with us talking about sports? Duh, nigga, the Broncos got better by trading Russell Wilson to the Steelers. And they paid for this nigga to play in Pittsburgh. And the Broncos got better. That's what I'm saying, nigga. Like, sometimes you trade and eat cap. The Eagles did it. They traded Carson Wentz to the Colts. They got 2 first-round picks.
They paid that nigga to play on Indianapolis. They got Jalen Hurts. They lost to Tom Brady, and they took all them picks, traded them with the Saints. The Saints drafted Olave, and they loaded up. That's Jalen Carter. That's Nakobe Dean. That's every single player you see on the Eagles defense. Bro, y'all niggas get on my nerves with that shit. I ain't got nothing good to say. Man, you know, contract June 1st. If you cut him, you dead cat. Bro, we having a conversation. Y'all niggas start talking about Madden. That shit get on my nerves, bro. If you ain't got shit to say, just don't have shit to say. Man, bro, it ain't even Madden on the screen back here. That's Apex. God damn, bro. Soon as this shit start making sense, man, this ain't Madden. Yeah, you eat some of the cap, you trade, let them niggas pay next year and the year after that and the year after that. Put Mac Jones in and draft 6 niggas in the first 3 rounds and the Jags will be better. Blake Bortles was the last chance that y'all had. The Jaguars, the Titans, the Browns, all our sorry ass teams ain't winning paying no niggas $60 million at QB. If your team pay your quarterback more than Patrick Mahomes get paid, you're at a fucking disadvantage. Who needs to mention dead cap? Obviously, this shit is some basic conversation. Y'all niggas be acting like y'all in the front office with a lawyer writing the goddamn contract down. Nigga, we have Sport Track up every stream. Anytime we go into contracts, we bring Sport Track up and start talking about dead cap. That's if you really follow me, but you really don't follow me. We're having a hypothetical ass conversation saying, nigga, if you could trade this, would you trade it? Yes, nigga. Yesterday, the Jaguars should trade Trevor Lawrence for a first and a second. Y'all see, that's what be making y'all niggas think y'all know some shit. You be like, man, you know, the June 1st trade deadline, you know, if you cut him, you're gonna eat them. And then when you see the trade come out, you be sitting there trying to figure out, damn, where the team got that money from. Because they actually have real fucking lawyers and sports niggas working on this shit in the office. The rest of us do what the fuck we do and talk sports. Nigga, would you trade him or wouldn't you trade him? Man, I don't know how the Broncos gonna afford to pay Russell Wilson to play on the Steelers, and then who they're gonna get. Then they got Bo Nix and went to the playoffs. Damn, how that shit work. Hey, Taekwon, would you take Trevor Lawrence as your QB1? I'd rather draft a QB. These vet QBs ain't doing it. You lose too much drafting QB versus taking a vet and still not making the playoffs. Get rid of the vet 2 or 3 years later. Bro, only one time has it worked. The Rams. The Rams traded like 50 fucking picks to get Matthew Stafford, and then they sent the Lions Goff. Well, guess what? It worked out for both teams. The Lions got Goff in like 50 picks. Them picks is Aiden Hutchinson. There's Jameer Gibbs. It's Jameson Williams. All them people they drafted in the last few years came from that trade. I was like, if the Rams make that trade, I was on stream that I said, if the Rams make this trade, they better win a Super Bowl. And they won a Super Bowl. So I guess you leverage everything on the end of Aaron Donald's career to get Matthew Stafford if you McVay and you think that gets you over the hump. But they also got Von Miller. They got Eric Weddle. They had Jalen Ramsey at the time. They got Odell. Nigga, they got like 10 niggas at the end of the trade deadline that everybody go, how the fuck did they get that? They leveraged everything for their Super Bowl and they got it. Sometimes trade work out for both teams. I'm not trading the 25-year-old QB. This not Russell Wilson. Yeah. And the Mavericks wasn't trading Luka Doncic to the Lakers, man, because the trade and the Supermax contract, and if they do that, yeah, and Luka Doncic is on the fucking Lakers. but Anthony Davis, he be hurt. So the Dallas Mavericks would never trade for. He's a superstar in his prime. He's the face of the league. Then you be sitting there with egg on your face when they figured out how to fucking trade around. You couch niggas always got some kind of legality, or we have to talk about June 1st. We have to talk about the Supermax. And then you see Luka Doncic with a fucking Laker jersey on playing with LeBron. That's how I be knowing. Niggas be wanting to sound smart until you think about, damn, that shit did happen. How the fuck did Luka Doncic get on the Lakers? They messed up his Supermax. And then wait, when the Lakers pay him, he's still gonna get a Supermax. Like, that's how this shit work.
Let me teach you how to vibe.
Odell was cooking before he got hurt. That is true.
Let me teach you how to
That's all I
vibe.
be saying. You come in the shop, we can have real conversations, but there be the undefeated shit be fucking with y'all in y'all head. Y'all be, see, you're not right because, okay, let's have the conversation. Nigga, them niggas in the office saying, shit, Trevor Lawrence, a first, a second, 2/3.
Let me teach you how to vibe.
He said nobody seen that coming though. Dallas is dumb for that. They actually not dumb. They don't got to pay him the Supermax. Anthony Davis played a 4. They got 2 5s. Maybe they know something that you don't know. Maybe it's bigger than the Dallas Mavericks and the Lakers. Maybe it's the NBA forcing everybody hand because nobody's viewing the NBA no more. Maybe it's deeper than that. Yeah, you ever thought about that? Man, how is the Mavericks gonna win a championship? They had Steve Nash and Dirk Nowitzki. How you gonna trade the MVP Steve Nash for Jason Oh shit. They beat LeBron, D Wade, and Chris Bosh with Jason Terry and Dirk Nowitzki. Deshaun Stevenson, Sean Marion. Oh shit. They had 6 niggas that had averaged over 10 points a game when they got rid of their superstar MVP point guard. The Phoenix Suns ain't never won shit. Last time they won, they had fucking Barkley. See how it sound when you say this shit to when you think about how it happened? Them niggas traded Steve Nash and put Jason Terry in his place and won a championship and beat LeBron. See how that worked? Man, the San Antonio Spurs, they could never have 2 Hall of Fame centers on the same team. How does that work? Yeah, they got Tim Duncan and David Robinson. Everybody scratching their head. How the fuck did that happen? Because this shit, bro. If you just take your emotions off your teams and just be like I do and just look at this shit objectively, this shit makes sense. When you just look at it that way, it makes sense. Nathaniel, that's just basic common knowledge, man. They got there with Luka Doncic and Kyrie and realized the team as it could not beat Boston. They got shit on in the finals, and they're like, man, we're gonna pay a supermax to get lucky, maybe in the next decade to get there to get shit on again. Nah. Get out the supermax, get AD over there, get some centers, and in a few years you'll look up and then Dallas will have another star. Man, Charles, talk to me. What it do? It's a difference between getting to the finals and getting shit on. Like the Mavericks team as it's not about to beat the Celtics in the finals. Probably not gonna make it back this year as their team has it. Hey, Preston, let me ask you a question. Was Luka Doncic on the court when they traded him, or was he off the court? Anthony Davis want to play the 4. He don't want to play the 5 no more. You get Anthony Davis, you put him at the 4. You got Kyrie, Klay Thompson, Anthony Davis, and you got your bigs. Now, don't be surprised you see some wild shit like we look up next year in Greek Freak in Dallas or some shit, bro. Like I could see it. A gentleman sweep. They beat their ass. They beat their ass and helped them clean up the wounds after the game, bro. That shit wasn't even a contest. But it's all to say, when we get in the shop, we bring up these hypotheticals. This ain't no hard feelings or nothing. But like, can we stay on the subject matter? I'd trade Trevor Lawrence in a heartbeat for a first and a second. If you the Pittsburgh Steelers, you saying you don't think you could win with Russ, you don't think you could win with Justin Fields. You want to bring in Trevor Lawrence and draft a QB in the late rounds for your future. I just want to remind y'all of something. 14 teams in the playoffs, 12 teams had a first round draft pick. The other two people is Russell Wilson and Jalen Hurts. That's it. Jalen Hurts was drafted when they already had Carson Wentz. It's a very rare occasion that you're gonna make it anywhere without a first round talent at QB. If I'm the Jaguars, I put Mac Jones in, I draft me a QB, and I load up on talent. Because the AFC South right now is being pointed by the Houston Texans, who got a rookie deal quarterback that they got two more seasons to try to get it. They got two more shots at it. Or they gonna be like the San Francisco 49ers. Hey, Deebo Samuel, you on the market. Now, that's another one. Y'all saying arguing with me about that. I said, man, if they pay Purdy, they gonna have some niggas gotta walk. I said, I would get rid of Deebo. No, man, you get rid of Deebo, man. I said, man, odds is they'll probably pay Purdy. He not gonna get the $60 million he want, but he should take a team-friendly deal and help them out. But even with that said, somebody gotta go. I said Deebo and CMC. People thought I was crazy because I said Deebo and CMC. Man, I would have got rid of Deebo and CMC and load up. This is a running back heavy draft. If ever there was a draft where I was going to get a running back, this would be it. This would be it. I'm tired of being right. I want to be wrong sometimes. They say I agree because Tua is well overpaid. Oh, yeah, T. Jones. Tua is overpaid. They gonna find. They already got their rookie that they drafted. They got shot. It said, I'm a Titans fan saying trade Trevor Lawrence and keep Mac Jones. It makes perfect sense. No, bro, I'm unbiased, bro. If you really know me, if you really follow my content, I'm really being unbiased. What I stand on when I say rookie deal quarterback build the team, y'all had a window where Trevor Lawrence had a chance to make it. Y'all paid him. Y'all did the same thing with Trevor Lawrence the Giants did with Daniel Jones. Y'all got him won one playoff game and gave somebody a max contract and then wound up losing too much of your team. The Giants lost Saquon paying Daniel Jones because he gave them one playoff win in 4 years. It's the same situation. I'm not a Titan fan that hates the Jaguars. I'm just looking at the shit objectively. If I was the Jaguars, I beat the Titans with Mac Jones. Trevor Lawrence lost to Tannehill on the last game of the season last year when y'all was 8-4. I said, man, this is the Jaguars division. They got that shit this year. Might as well pack it in. Y'all lost every game of the season to end the season. And Trevor Lawrence played bad. And you just can't make me believe that Doug Peterson is some dog shit coach that won a Super Bowl versus Tom Brady with Nick Foles at QB. So I'm saying that maybe it's Jacksonville and Jacksonville can reset their team. The same things I'm saying about the Jags, I said about the Browns. Browns fans got me. I'm like, bro, trade Myles Garrett, get a first rounder back, go get you a QB in this draft and load back up because Nick Chubb's contract is gone. It's gonna free up a lot of money for the Browns when they in a deficit with Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson got their hands tied. But what you can do is make moves. for the future. Because what you're trying to do is there's Patrick Mahomes, it's Josh Allen, it's Lamar Jackson, it's Joe Burrow, and now it's CJ Stroud. And CJ Stroud ain't even getting paid yet. That's what them the five you got to worry about for the next decade. How can I get my team to compete with them? And it's not going to be with Trevor Lawrence making 276 in Jacksonville. It's just not. He did get tired of playing the fives. I mean, bro, I'm telling you, like, Trevor Lawrence is not nothing that put fear in nobody's heart in the AFC South. I'm sorry. Andrew Luck on the Colts and Peyton Manning, like, that was like fear. We knew we wouldn't win it on Sunday with them two niggas playing. Trevor Lawrence is not that. CJ Stroud, as good as he's played, don't make me feel the way Andrew Luck and Peyton Manning. Now, you got to understand, I'm an unbiased fan. Just because I'm a Titan fan, I'm the most unbiased sports nigga that y'all gonna find, period. And if anybody challenges that shit, the Discord open. You can hop in and hear your voice say this crazy shit that y'all be typing. Andrew Luck was different at QB. If you really watch me, you know, like, a big part of my fan base is Texans, Colts, and Jaguar fans. Because I'm not biased, bro. I be like, man, such and such is a dog. But I just, like, Brian Thomas, like, I was like, damn.
Let me teach you
Cuz
how to
is a dog.
vibe.
I was happy when we got Ridley. But we got Ridley because y'all gave Christian Kirk all that money. When y'all got Christian Kirk, I said, that's a mistake. That's a mistake. They gave Christian Kirk $76 million. I was like, oh, man, he's a 3 receiver at best. Yo, prime time. He said, bang, bang, Eagles gang. I don't care about nothing else. Hey, man, y'all, like, bro, the more and more you look back at y'all dominated. Y'all dominated, man. Congratulations, bro. See, I'm not a hater. My man Primetime's an Eagles fan. He come in here to gloat. And I'm telling him, talk your shit. Your Eagles kicked ass. Debo gone, he know it. Bob, what up? What 5 in the AFC? CJ Stroud is 5. Burrow, Josh Allen, Lamar, and Patrick. That's the 5 in the AFC you got to worry about for the next decade. Like, their teams is set up. Like, Josh Allen them cleared Gabriel Davis and Stephon Diggs and got better. Like, the Ravens got offered them 15, 17 million they gave Odell. They're going to get better. The Chiefs never overpay. They roster always draft well and get better. The Texans have figured it out with DeMeco Ryans that they finna let Stephon Diggs walk. Nico Collins and Tank Dell come back healthy with John Mechie next year. They're going to be one of the teams that go get one of these free agent receivers, and we be sitting there shaking our head because they got Joe Mixon last year because the Bengals didn't have no money. Then you know what I'm saying? Like, if the Bengals find a way to pay T. Higgins, then and Jamar Chase, like, then you're going to have to outscore them every game all season. They just can't start as slow as they do. Them the 5 in the AFC you're going to have to worry about for them. So you got to build your team to beat them. Like, the Eagles, the way y'all team is constructed through all them Carson Wentz trade, letting Fletcher Cox, Jason Kelsey retiring, letting Hargraves go. Y'all let CD Deuce go and come back. The moves that the Eagles made is when you talk about the NFC, the teams you got to worry about, that is now the Lions, the Eagles, the Packers make smart moves. The 49ers is going to find a way to figure it out. I'm interested to see what the Rams do. Like, it's teams that just smart with their roster construction. And the sorry ass teams like the Jaguars, the Titans, the Browns, the Cowboys, we find a way to fuck it up. We fuck up the offseason. Jalen Miroka being Austin, plenty of running backs and receivers going every year. Manning to Harrison, straight feared. The Steelers don't want Phil or Wilson. Move up in the draft and grab a QB. O-line needs help. I don't think they got enough to move up to QB though, Dan. Like, you don't got enough to move up. Like what do the Steelers have that gonna get them to pick 1 or 2? The Steelers don't have nothing, so they might be in this position that they might have. If they don't want Wilson or Fields, they might have to be in that position to move up to take one of those, unless they want to bring. If I was them, the position they in, they kind of stuck, bro. Like they in a when you not good enough to make it, but not sorry enough to get a high pick, like you're gonna have to give up the world to get there. And I just don't think they're in that position. people put CJ on a pedestal, but literally put up Trevor as not. But see, you can't get lost in the numbers. Derek Carr got great numbers. Kirk Cousins got great numbers, but them niggas don't win when it count. And you got to be able to determine, like, somebody getting a bunch of statistics in garbage time don't mean shit. I mean, like, to me, when the money on the line, like, Trevor Lawrence ain't finna go out here and bomb you. CJ Stroud make better decisions under pressure in his NFL career than Trevor Lawrence. When it come down to it, like, and you really look at it, no Stephon Diggs, no Tank Dell. The Texans, if they make their field goals, they got a shot against the Chiefs in the playoffs. You see what I'm saying? And that's with Joe Mixon not even being a real factor in that game. And the offensive line is complete dog shit. Like, the Texans' offensive line couldn't block the Titans. So I'm saying, like, CJ Stroud is better than Trevor Lawrence as a pro. Like, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Like, from what the decision making I've seen him make, that's why when people be, man, the line is bad. Man, I seen Joe Burrow go to a Super Bowl with a bad line. He would have won it if they could block Aaron Donald at all. I seen Patrick Mahomes get his ass kicked by the Buccaneers and the Eagles without no offensive line, but he got to the Super Bowl. CJ Stroud in the playoffs this year, offensive line was dog shit. I ain't trying to hear that. It's some dysfunctional people that can find a way to get it done. Brian say hop in the court. I got like 10, 15 minutes before I gotta go get my daughter, but pull up. I'm in there. I got like 10, 15 minutes before I go I gotta pick her up at 1. The stream on behind me. She's still on Facebook. She be streaming on Twitch. That's Black Goddess Gamer. She's a super dope person, man. Like, far as females, I can't think of a female that still grind the way Black Goddess grind. If you pop her in the stream, tell her I sent you. Carson Wentz got a chip now. Nah, Carson Wentz was on the Chiefs, and he lost on the Chiefs playing the Eagles. He was on the Eagles when Nick Foles won. So he been had a Super Bowl. Diggs gone. Texas did the smart thing avoiding the last few years. Yeah, they did. That's what I'm saying. The Texans could go get one of them big name receivers out there. But Nico Collins and Tank Dell and whoever they get, it could be Cooper Kupp. It could be Devontae. It could be DK Metcalf. They could go out. Like, they could go after anybody they want, really. Because they QB ain't getting paid. I want to see what the Niners do. What do the 49ers do now that they got to pay money? For them to get up there, they would have to trade Watt? Nah. No. Negative. You're saying that with receivers, Nico Collins is a better receiver than Trevor has ever had, personnel and coaching? How you figure? Bro, he got Brian Thomas now. Last year he had Evan Ingram, Calvin Ridley, and Christian Kirk. If you watch them games like I watched them games, he missed a lot of open receivers downfield. He do. With Calvin Ridley, bro, you go back and watch the tape. I know Calvin Ridley have a handful of drops, but how many times does Trevor Lawrence just completely miss Ridley running wide open?
Let me teach you how to
Ridley had
vibe.
1,000 yards on the Titans this year with the 2 worst quarterbacks in the NFL. I promise you, if we had me throwing the football to Calvin Ridley, he would have had 1,500 yards last year. You can't sit here and say that, like, the Jaguars haven't had talent with Trevor Lawrence.
I'm not gonna lie, Buddha. I've never heard a Jaguars fan argue about the Jaguars.
I mean,
Let me teach you how to vibe.
The best thing y'all ever did was y'all won a Super Bowl with Nick Foles. Y'all traded Carson Wentz to the Colts. They was thirsty. Y'all got 2 firsts back, and y'all paid for him the first year. Jalen Hurts lost to Tom Brady in the playoffs. Y'all traded the first round pick that y'all got back to the Saints. They picked Olave, and y'all got like them 15 niggas y'all got on defense from that trade. Y'all picked like everything in like the last 3 years. It's been like Georgia U, right?
Yeah, the trade for Carson Wentz. First off, I mean, shout out to the Eagles, Howie Roseman for the. Like you look back now, 7 years later, and it's like, who would have predicted that, right? Like how that would have turned out. But yeah, so, and I'm gonna tell you, and I'll be the first one to admit, I was actually not a fan of Jalen Hurts. I haven't been really a huge fan of Jalen Hurts this entire time. So obviously, you know, we took Carson Wentz, I think, at number 2. And then within 2 years, right, he has an MVP season. Had he not got hurt that year in 2017, he would have been the MVP, right? He missed the last 3 games of the season. No, he was a number 1. He was
playing
leading,
like Josh Allen playing right now.
he led the league in yards. He was leading the league in yards, touchdowns, and completion percentage, I believe, that year. With 3 games left, he would have been the MVP. He was number 1 in the voting polls. But obviously he missed the last 3 games. Tom Brady goes on to win the MVP that year. Obviously, we meet Tom Brady in the playoffs. Nick Foles obviously whoops his ass, you know, so on and so forth. So the next year or the year after that, we ended up trading Carson Wentz. Correct, exactly. So I guess Philly saw something in Carson Wentz that they just did not like and decided to trade him. And this was after we drafted Jalen Hurts.
Just join the Discord, and then when I be live, just hop in.
So obviously Jalen Hurts was already on the football team, and so we draft him. My thing was, at the end of the day, I wasn't a fan of Jalen Hurts. That's kind of why I didn't want Carson Wentz traded. You know, I was like, man, I kind of want to see what, you know, maybe he can come back from this injury, so on and so forth. I'm not a fan of Jalen Hurts. He can't really throw the football like that, whatever. But yeah, I mean, in the long run, we ended up getting, I think, 3 or 4 picks in total out of the trade with Carson Wentz. And we go on to draft, I think, like Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, I mean, it's actually insane how that whole ordeal turned out. And it really did work out in the long run because Jalen Hurts, I mean, and the thing is, anybody goes, wow, you don't like Jalen Hurts? No, because if you actually watch Jalen Hurts his first season starting, he was terrible at throwing the football. That was like 2020. 2020 when he started, horrible at throwing the football. The next year, 2021, I believe it was, he went from fucking a D passer to like a fucking B. Like his transition from his first year starting in Philly to his second year was fucking incredible. He came out that next year. Do you think he threw like 4,000 yards? I was like, what the fuck? Like, holy hell. Yeah, I was like, dude, it was a huge difference. And we see that now. I mean, he's still he doesn't throw the ball as much this season because Saquon Barkley was running out of his fucking mind.
He was hurt at the end of the season too, though.
But I mean,
I feel like we'll find out in a few weeks if he was like really in protocol or something during that time.
So yeah, I mean, it worked out. My thing is with the Jaguars, I'll be honest with you. I like Trevor Lawrence. The kid has talent. I mean, the dude's fucking 6'6", like 240 pounds. He's a big ass quarterback. You know, he can run, he can throw, but he is fucking inconsistent, man. And I do believe in your statement when you say this. One, if you're in that division, you do not fear Trevor Lawrence in any regard. You just don't, because he hasn't done nothing. He hasn't done nothing to put fear in anybody's heart in the NFL, period. It doesn't matter. Fuck the division just because you played 2 times. The schedule. If you got the Jaguars on the schedule, I'm not saying that he can't win games. He can win games. The problem is he's just like Dak Prescott. In my opinion, Dak Prescott's better. He's inconsistent. It's not a consistent week to week where it's like you knew this year if you played the Bengals, you had to fear Joe and Jamar. You had to. You had to. They were putting up 300-400 yards a game. Jamar was going out of his fucking mind, right? Like you knew that they were a fucking threat. You don't have that in Jacksonville. You just don't. And I'll be honest with you. I know homie said something about, if we had more talent, you could put Jamar in Jacksonville. I still wouldn't fear Trevor and Jamar Chase. I still wouldn't, because we haven't seen enough from Trevor Lawrence to go, hey, you know what? This is, he didn't throw for 5,000 yards and 40 touchdowns or whatever. He hasn't done that. There's no fear there. like, don't get me wrong, is he talented? Yes, he is. He's a fucking NFL quarterback. You don't make it to this level without being talented, but it doesn't matter if you're fucking inconsistent.
Yeah,
Period.
I mean, to me, I put him in that boat of like Sam Darnold. Did they win 14 games? Yes. Are you scared of him when it comes to playoffs? No. Like that's where I put him is like if you a first round graded talent at QB, that don't ever change. You could be 50 years old, like you still is a first round graded talent at QB because like the people that go into the sports science of saying can this person
except for Jamarcus Russell.
Hey, he had it. He just ain't got it between the shoulders, man.
No, he had it in college. He never had it in NFL.
Throw the ball 60, 70 yards, man. Like the dude got talent. It's just
yeah.
He didn't want to be a football player, man.
No, he was sick. He was drafted. He was 6'7", like 270 pounds or 240 pounds.
Yeah, all right, but to stay on target though is going back to the original conversation is nobody says Trevor Lawrence is bad. I'm just saying Trevor Lawrence, and you know what I'll be feeling about this. He's not $276 million good. So the Jaguars don't get better. They don't beat the Ravens. They don't beat the Chiefs. They don't beat the Texans. They don't beat the Bengals. You don't beat any of the top passing QB offenses in the league or teams. With him making that much money. You don't.
I would agree. Trevor Lawrence getting paid almost $300 million a year is a problem. And it's not because I'm not even going to say that he's not worth 276. His talent is definitely worth 276. His physique, his stature, 6'6", 240 pounds, can run, can throw, big arm. Don't get me wrong, he's definitely talented. But my thing is, like at this point in time, are you paying people based on talent, or are you paying people based on body of work?
There we go. And I think it's a mix of both.
That's why for me, I believed Kirk Cousins deserved the 4 years, 150 or whatever it was, because it was based on body of work. And I get that he didn't win in the playoffs, but he was phenomenal in the regular season, always had been. And at that point, Atlanta had nothing at that point in time, right? Since Matt Ryan, Matt Ryan retires and Atlanta don't have dogs. They got dog shit. Like they're not doing nothing, no good quarterback. So you look at someone like a Trevor Lawrence. Let me ask you a question. If you had two options right now, right, if we're going into this year, obviously pending the Kirk Cousins, tear of his ACL, obviously, that played a factor. But had Kirk Cousins not got hurt with the ACL, what would you rather have? Kirk Cousins at 140, or would you rather have fucking Trevor Lawrence at 280?
Yeah. See, and then you talking my language because it's like, what can you do with the roster with the money based on what you're gonna get? You know what I'm saying? Like that's always my conversation with QBs, because I always say, like, if your QB make more than Mahomes, you at a disadvantage. Because Brady and Mahomes have done the smart thing, is taking less money to get more talent around them over the years. And
no. Well, I guess technically with Patrick Mahomes' contract,
the highest paid QB, but
no,
Brady
never
can always go. He went and got Randy Moss. Like he can go get what he want in the offseason. Even when he went to the Bucs. When he went to the Bucs, like they went and got everybody. Like people don't even remember, like AB was on that team. Like dog, like they went and got some goons. And I'm saying, like, your Eagles has figured it out. I'm gonna see if the 49ers can figure it out. Like teams are starting to realize, like, if you don't have the guy, like the absolute guy, Trevor Lawrence ain't never gonna win a Super Bowl with him making 276 in Jaguar on the Jaguars right now. Like the best thing they could do is if the Pittsburgh Steelers
restructure his contract.
And see, this was the floated idea on the internet. That's how we got here for this little short stream today. Think about trading Trevor Lawrence to the Steelers, who are unsure about both of their guys, and getting the first and second back, re-signing Mac Jones as your bridge, and having the fifth pick, another pick in the first, 2 in the second, and 2 in the third. You can't tell me the Jaguars wouldn't have a better roster coming back next year with that, as opposed
I'll be honest with you. If I'm Pittsburgh, I do not trade for Trevor Lawrence.
But this is the thing, that the Steelers aren't high enough to draft one of the top 2 QBs. Also,
I'd rather take a shot with Justin Fields than Trevor Lawrence.
that would fit more to
Let me
me.
teach you how to
You know,
vibe.
this being floated out because, like, in my opinion, man, I just don't think that Russell Wilson ain't their future, but I don't think he was that bad. I go
No,
back
it
and
wasn't.
look.
It wasn't that bad. He wasn't that bad. He wasn't. But here, okay. So here's the thing, right? Pittsburgh shouldn't have got Russell Wilson or Justin Fields, right? I mean, I'm not saying they should have got
I mean,
either. They
the
should have got
Broncos
one.
paid him to play him this year.
True. This is true. This is true.
So I mean,
And
they
they
really was stealing. They really was stealing because they didn't believe in Kenny Pickett. I go back and look at
My thing is, but here's my thing, right? Here's my thing. Here was my problem with Pittsburgh. Russell Wilson was hurt to start the season. Justin Fields plays the first 6 games. I believe he had a 4-2 record, and he was playing phenomenal. He's what, 25, 26 years old? Russell Wilson's like 36 years old or whatever, 38. They should have let Justin, because he was winning football games, he was playing great, they should have just kept him at the starting position, period. And okay, listen, our plan was to start Russell Wilson at the beginning of the season. He got hurt. Justin's been playing, but Justin has it. You know, we have a great record with Justin. We're at top of the division right now. We're winning football games. Like you said, Russell's not our future. Justin Fields is potentially. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what happens here.
I think they did the reverse of what Atlanta did. Atlanta said Kirk Cousins is struggling. Let's see what Michael Penix got. It is the reverse where Justin Fields was hot and they put Russ in. I think Russ elevated them in some ways that Fields couldn't, but it ain't to say that he can't. So I agree with you on that end is if you ultimately went out in the first round of the playoffs, you damn near want to say, let me go out with the young guy to see if he's got it, if he can get it.
They should never benched him.
Hindsight 2020.
Russell Wilson, but again, like you said it, and we all knew it. Russell Wilson was not their future. He was a backup, right? Because the thing is, the same thing with Trevor Lawrence. We don't know about Justin Fields yet. We know he can run that motherfucker football.
Yeah.
We know he has an arm on him. But obviously, he was horrible in Chicago. Now, that's not entirely his fault. The team's dog shit. The team's dog shit, right?
Chicago
we
is there with Tennessee, Jacksonville, and Cleveland.
But we haven't seen him throw 4,500 yards, 40 touchdowns, right? We haven't seen that. He's not the type of quarterback, so probably never have that. He's more like a Jalen Hurts. But nonetheless, we haven't seen him really win, right? But we're banking on him. But we'll have Russell Wilson, a veteran, as a backup just in case. And that's what the mindset should have been. So when Justin started the season 4-2 and was playing phenomenal, they should not have benched him. They should have kept Justin Fields in and let him keep playing it out until he started losing games, making mistakes. Then you put Russell Wilson in.
They should have left him until he actually lost. Had a Will Levis type game. You know what I'm saying? Like Mr. Mayonnaise.
Because if Justin Fields continues to win football games, right? Let's say he wins another 2 football games. Now he's 6-2, and you're giving him more reps in the system in Pittsburgh. Right? So, okay, now let's play another 2 games, right? He could be fucking 10-2 on a season playing phenomenal. You know what I mean? He's got 12 starts, etc. They should have just left him in. But like you said, they know Russell Wilson's not their future. He was just hey, we can get him cheap. He's a good backup, great backup.
I still think he can start on a lot of teams, but it like for what the Steelers need to do in their division, they have to make a decision on who's going to be their QB. So that's why this trade was interesting because Pittsburgh is a way better organization than Jacksonville.
The only team I see Russell Wilson starting in the NFL is the Browns or the Giants.
Dolphins. If like
not over a healthy Tua.
I mean, healthy Tua is a different story, but we talking about in the last 7, 8 years, like he had more unhealthy seasons than healthy seasons. And I love Tua; he's a Bama guy, but you know, you look at some of these situations, like the Cardinals could be coming up on a decision soon. It's some teams that's got to shit to get off the pot.
I mean, Kyler Murray is a quarterback I don't like.
He said, "You laugh when you see you live in Jacksonville." All right, so let me ask you this question because I only got about 4 or 5 minutes before I gotta go get my kid from school. But Michael, you saying you wouldn't take that trade? Y'all love him. So you telling me if you could have Mac Jones as your bridge and with 2 picks in the first, 2 in the second, 2 in the third, the capital that y'all have, if you could move up and have Cam Ward in 5 picks in the first, second, and third with a rookie deal for the next 4 years, you wouldn't take that over having Trevor Lawrence, in which y'all currently have. And if you tell me you'd rather have that, I'm gonna ask you who y'all getting y'all dope from, because I want to get high. I want to get high. Like, the only way to win in the NFL is with a rookie deal QB. Y'all QB already got the second biggest contract in the NFL at $276, bro. Like, ask the Giants how I feel when you pay your quarterback and watch Saquon do backflips over defenders in the open field, having arguably the best running back season in the history of the NFL. He just had because you paid your QB and now you can't make moves.
Can we talk about that though real quick? Can we just take a second to talk about that? That New York might have the worst front office in the National Football League, and they all need to be fired. How do you, and we all saw the Hard Knock tapes, right? How do you say we just paid Daniel Jones $160 million? It's not for a $12 million, it's not to hand off the ball to a $12 million back. To then 4 or 5 games into the season, cut Daniel Jones. That has got to be one of the most egregious things I have ever seen.
You know the crazier part?
In national football.
You know the crazier part? Daniel Jones was on the Giants and beat the Vikings on their dream season. And then Daniel Jones wound up being on the Vikings. Like, it was just a real crazy circle. You know what I'm saying? It was a real crazy. Trey Lance ain't never getting the starting spot. Shout out, we got a Trey Lance college football tournament this weekend, HLX.GG, and sign up for it. But Trey Lance threw 5 picks in the preseason game. He ain't. I'm sorry. Hey, we love Trey Lance, but hey, bro, 5 picks in a preseason game. I don't know if you get a starting job like that.
That whole front office needs fired, Buddha.
But this the thing, Jacksonville fans, y'all got to get out of y'all fandom and y'all love for Trevor Lawrence and just look at it realistically and say,
let me teach you how to vibe.
Mac Jones and Cam Ward with 5 picks in the first 3 rounds sounds better than Trevor Lawrence coming back with what y'all got.
What do you think about what do you think about Jacksonville? Let's just say, what do you think about maybe Jacksonville trying to trade Trevor to the Giants?
Any of those trades where these teams is willing to give up a first and a second and take on.
Well, I look at it.
You probably only got to pay half his contract for the first year, and then the other team is
most of that money.
Dead cap.
Most of that money was guaranteed up front anyway, right? Most of that 276, right? Probably like 110 or whatever.
150 dead on his contract.
So I wouldn't think that that's a bad idea. Trade Trevor Lawrence to the Giants for their first round pick this year.
I'm saying if you could trade Trevor and get a first and a second this year, where you could draft a QB, add Mac Jones, and load up.
But New York makes sense. New York makes sense though. Because one, they need a fucking quarterback, right? I mean, you just had an abysmal season. You were tied for the worst record in football at 3-14, right? And the whole diabolical situation with Saquon Barkley and then the Daniel Jones shit, where you end up giving him all this money and you cut him. You need to make up for it right now. I mean, if I'm a Giants fan, I'm calling for heads. The head coach, the front office. I mean, I'm calling for fucking heads if I'm a Giants fan. You can maybe, just maybe a little bit, make up for it if you make a trade like that. Trading for Trevor. I'm not saying it's the most spectacular trade, but Trevor Lawrence is still a 6'6", 240-pound talented fucking NFL quarterback.
I know Malik Neighbors would be happy.
Him and Malik, they could be nice. I wouldn't mind that. I mean, if you want to be real, that because I'll be honest with you, I'm not sold on Shador or Cam Ward.
This is my thing about Shador and Cam Ward, and this is for debate. This is taking my bias off. If you put Shador or Cam Ward on the Browns last year, they double or triple their win total. If you put them on the Titans last year, they double or triple their win total. Those are the first 2 teams picking. Both of those teams led the league in turnovers at the QB position
Like the
I can
Titans
agree with that
average
statement.
over 2 turnovers a game at the QB position, which is unheard of, especially when you're
Let me teach
32
you
or
how to
32 on
vibe.
special teams. Like I just look at them two teams and say, there's no way they get worse if they took those. Because if you have veterans that turn the ball over like a rookie, why not have a rookie deal? Because if you the Browns and you draft Cam Ward, you trade Myles Garrett, Nick Chubb's contract is gone, they can really load back up. The Titans is the same way. I just think you got to take the QB because it's better than the ceiling for those guys and selling tickets and what they could turn to is really high.
Who do you think Titans take with the number 1 pick? I'll ask you, who do you think they take and who do you want them to take?
All right, who do I think they take?
Who do you
don't
think
know
they
because
take?
they haven't interviewed Cam Ward yet.
But who do you think they take
My gut
right
feeling
now?
is they do so they trade out of one and the chips fall how they fall. That's my gut feeling is they trade
They
trade
trade
back
the number
to 2
1
or 3.
pick?
That's what I think they're
Okay.
gonna do. What I would
Okay.
like for them to do
Take
is
Cam Ward.
interview Cam Ward and make a decision on Shador or Cam Ward.
Yeah, so I think you should take Cam Ward.
Because I mean, this is the thing. They got to work with Shador the whole Senior Bowl. They got to work 1-on-1 with him for like 10 days. So it's like they got a good them and the
And
Giants got a good feeling of what they think about him. They seen him make all the throws. They don't need to see a pro day or a combine. They haven't done that with Cam Ward. I'd like to see them.
So if Cam Ward goes at 1, where does Shador fall to?
The Giants.
You really
Shador
think the
ain't going to
Giants take?
he ain't going to Cleveland unless the Raiders or the
No.
Jets traded up to get 2.
Okay, so I think the Titans should take Cam Ward. Out of the 2 quarterbacks, I think Cam Ward. If I was a betting man, which I am a betting man, but if I was betting, I think that Cam Ward will have a better rookie season than Shador. Obviously, that's dependent upon teams. Right, that's dependent upon teams.
1,000% depending on the teams.
It definitely depends on the team.
See,
But
this the weird part. Shador fits Brian Callahan's offense, but do they take the player that they want over the player that fits the offense of the head coach that's there? If that makes sense. Like Cam Ward is more of an improviser. Shador is more of a pocket passer. Brian Callahan wants a pocket passer. So all that plays into a factor of I want to see them interview him because you know the crazy part. You know, the last time we had this chance. CJ Stroud, they were saying he was dumb. And if you go back and look at the interview, it was Mike Vrabel saying, I don't think he's dumb. If he's there, we're picking him. There was Mike Vrabel saying that there was rumors that they tried to shop Tannehill that year to get in position to get CJ Stroud, but it didn't fall through because Tannehill still had $9 million of Julio Jones Eagles contract. We were still paying Julio on Tannehill's contract when he was in Philly. How crazy is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how bad John
crazy.
Robinson had the books messed up, and he's interviewing for the Jaguars job right now. So that's what I'm saying is like if I'm the Titans, you got to take the QB.
I tell you what. If I was, just hear me out. You tell me what you think. If I'm the Titans, I'd trade. I think that's what they should do. I recant my statement. Don't take Cam Ward. I would trade down that first pick.
Trade to where though? That's you can't trade out of the top 3. It's got to be swapping with the Browns or the Giants. You can't.
I would say okay. Hold on. Wait. Who has the 5th pick?
Jaguars got 5th, but behind them that wants a QB is the Jets and Raiders at like 6 and 7. So if the Titans trade out, the Jets and Raiders would be salivating to try to move into 2.
Hear me out here. Just hear me out. I would trade out of 1. I would trade if I'm the Titans. I would trade. Who needs a quarterback? You said Las Vegas, right? The Raiders.
But I don't want to trade Pat. Look, if they
Hold
trade
on. Hear me out.
Let me
Hear me
teach
out.
you how to vibe.
I would trade the first pick with the Raiders in their 2nd round pick. So you would trade down to the 6th, but then you would also get their 2nd pick in the next round too as well. So you still have your pick in the 2nd round, and now you would have the Raiders' 2nd pick in the 2nd round, and you would have the 6th pick. I'm gonna tell you right now, I would use that 6th pick. You know who I would draft? Because he's going to be there, guarantee it. You could honestly get even more draft capital. I'm just giving you an example, but you could probably get even more draft capital if you really want to. I would draft Kyle McCord.
Kyle McCord probably gonna be around 4th, 5th round.
He gonna be there.
But
listen to me.
Kyle McCord ain't gonna sell
Kyle
tickets.
McCord. I don't give a fuck. He can
The
throw the.
Titans was the least viewed NFL team. And the worst ticket sales they had in the history of the franchise.
Are we trying to win games? Are we trying to win games, though? That's how you put asses
we
in
need
seats.
asses in seats.
Brother, listen to me. Kyle McCord can throw that motherfucking football. I was sick. He left Ohio State, by the way. You know, it's a great year for me. My Buckeyes won a national championship, and then a month later, my Eagles won the Super Bowl. But I was upset.
I hate y'all.
But I was upset that Kyle McCord left Ohio State to go to Syracuse because Kyle McCord is very fucking good. And look at it. And look at the year he had in Syracuse. Look at the year. Look at the year he had in Syracuse.
Might turn out to be that Brock Purdy in the draft, but I'm saying right now, if you the Tennessee
I can agree with that. I can agree with that. He might be like a Brock Purdy. I don't know, man.
Push Nissan Stadium into the river. If
motherfucker threw for 5,000 yards at Syracuse this year, bruh.
I ain't saying Kyle McCord ain't good because he might wind up being the best QB in the draft. Who knows who gonna wind up being the best? But I'm saying right now.
What about
Tennessee Titans better do something that's gonna make me buy a hat or a jersey come draft night.
What about trading down? Look, here you want me to keep it a bean? I think Cam Ward might be the best quarterback in the draft, right? Like obviously he's gonna probably be the first pick, and I think he might be. You know what I mean? I'm just saying the Titans need more than just a quarterback. Let's be real, they do. They need more than just a quarterback, right?
Of course.
Defense was very good. Hold on. Defense was very good. Defense was very good. Don't get me wrong. Defense was very good this year. But y'all need more than just a quarterback. Listen to what I'm saying. Cam Ward is not the only talented. It's not like Cam Ward is fucking Caleb Williams. You know what I mean?
He might be.
I don't feel like, but that's not the energy coming out of the draft. That's not the energy coming out of the draft.
He might be though.
That's not the energy coming into the
people that thought Jaden Daniels was a bad pick, and I was like, man, y'all smoking.
Nah, people were stupid for that one. People were dumb for that one.
It's people that thought that. I was like, bro, what are y'all watching?
But listen to what I'm saying though, right? Cam Ward, he's not Caleb Williams, right? When I say that, it's like that's not the energy. Where it's like you have to take Caleb because imagine if they didn't take Caleb at one last year.
You don't have to take.
Exactly, you don't have to take Cam Ward at one.
Like bonafide
exactly, that's what I'm saying. You don't have to take Cam at one. Correct. You don't have to take Cam at one.
Malik Willis though.
But listen what I'm saying though. You got Kyle McCord in the draft. You got Quinn Ewers in the draft. You got Will Howard. You got Dylan Gabriel coming out of Oregon. He's nice. He like Cam Ward. These guys are on the draft board. Dylan Gabriel, Will Howard. Will Howard just won a fucking national championship. You got Quinn Ewers. You got Kyle McCord. These guys are not. They're not even going to go in the first round. Yeah, if you're an Oregon, you got Jalen Milroe too out of Alabama.
Ole Miss, Jackson Dart. Look, before I go, because I got to go get my key, I'm going to answer your question and say this. This is what I wanted them to do, because you asked me what I wanted them to do before I go. I wanted them to draft whoever they thought was the best QB and trade the first pick in the second round back and pick up a second and a third, because the Titans will have the first pick, they'll have a pick in the middle of the second, they'll have a pick in the third, 2 4s, 2 5s, a 6, and then trade Will Levis and get a 7, have 2 7, and then have $80 million in cap space to go out and sign a receiver. Your second pick in the draft will obviously be an edge rusher. So like that was my thought, because you could get a Jack Sawyer or a Landon Jackson in that second, and you put that with. Well,
it's being reported that the Titans are open to trading number 1 pick. You know that, right?
Yeah, but that's their job though. They're supposed to see how much they could get for it if somebody was start.
Let me ask you a question. So if we already know it's being reported that the Titans are open to trading the number 1 pick, and you guys need a QB, right? We know that. That is what you guys need. So it makes sense to get Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders. But my question to you is, do you think Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders are so goddamn talented out of this fucking world that you need to draft one of those two guys? Or are there other quarterbacks in the draft that also have a lot of fucking potential, like a Will Howard, a Dylan Gabriel, a Quinn Ewers, a Kyle McCord, where you can trade and get even more draft capital, or maybe some players. You could trade the first pick for a second round pick, or a lower first round pick and a second round pick, and a receiver from somewhere or something. Right? That's what I'm asking you. Do you think that Cam Ward and Shador Sanders are so goddamn talented that you need to pick one of those two, or could you trade? I'm asking you what if you're thinking about it right now.
I'm gonna answer this. I'm gonna go, and then tonight, man, you can pop back in. We can finish this. But to answer that question is, I'm not against the trade, but it's got to be like, you remember when y'all had Chip Kelly, and he's gonna send us like,
no, don't even bring up that guy's fucking name. Don't even bring his name.
5 first rounders for Mariota. If it sounds like that, then yes. But if it ain't nothing crazy, bro, the Eagles.
I hate that man. I hate that man.
Cox in like 4 first rounders.
Listen to me. I hate that man. Hated Philadelphia.